All right, guys, here we go. Let's get this done. The first thing we're gonna do, now what you like to do is you wanna start from one corner of the engine and work your way around to get this stuff out of the way. All right, the first thing we got is, I don't know what we got. We got this little air tube right here. This air tube is held on by 2 clamps. So get you a flat screwdriver, or you can get you a 5/16 or 8mm socket, and we're gonna loosen up the clamps. Dang it. Loosen up both clamps, and what we're gonna do is take that whole assembly out of there. Man, I should have got a socket, man. All right, now this hose right here, there's a hose right here connected to this, and there's 2 ways you can do this. Either you can take this hose off from this little clip right there, and if you look right there, you see that little thing right there? That little spring comes back, and then you can pick it up, or we can go down here and try to take it off from the little hose, from the little valve, top of the valve cover, right there. So what you do is just pull that right out and leave it off. All right. So that way you're gonna take the whole thing off together. Now, be careful when you're handling this. Do not let any cracks come in this rubber, and this is a good time to inspect it, because if there's any holes in this thing will run like junk. All right, because especially only if you have a mass airflow into the system, and this one does. So what you want to do now is pull this back just like that, pick it up, and now take it off from this end. Now if it's kind of stuck like this, what you want to do is take your screwdriver and just carefully go around it just to break that seal. Alright, and then take it off just like that. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at it in there. Look at that oil. Alright, we're almost done with this. This is cool. We got that off. Now the next thing we're gonna do is start us a little party line. You know what the party line is? The party line is every time when you're on a job that you're not sure of, every time you take off a part, put it in the beginning of a line, and as you take off parts, you put it in the line. So when you get ready to put this job back together, you start from the end of the line and work your way back. And that way, you won't be missing anything. All right, the next thing we got here is, here's our throttle body. And what we're gonna do is, we got a connector over here that we're gonna disconnect. First, you gotta pop that little plastic tab out of there, where it won't come out. So you just pop that out just like that. Squeeze that tab down, and unplug it. Then you're gonna push it back when you're gonna lock it back into place. I did that by mistake. I didn't need to do that, but we gotta worry about that later. All right, follow ourselves around. The next thing we got is going to the evap valve right here. We got a hose and we got an electrical connector. Let's take this little tab right there, squeeze it in, unplug it, just like that. Now this one right here, there's a green tab right here, and there's a green tab on the other side. What you're going to do is squeeze those green tabs in and unplug it. If you can't get into it, and I got one, this side is kind of hard to get to. I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to do is get a little set of hose pliers, and we just squeeze them in a little bit. We're going to pull that off. Let me get some hose pliers, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to show you that. We're going to be right back. All right, got me a pair of hose pliers. So what you want to do on both sides of that, just take your hose pliers, squeeze in the clip on both sides, and unplug it, just like that. See that? All right, lean that to the side. Get that to the side. This is a plastic hose, so be careful with that. So just lean it down here just to get that out of the way. We are looking great. The next thing we're going to do, we got this big hose assembly right here. First you want to do is disconnect it from right here, which will just unclip just like that. And what you want to do is follow the hose instead of, now I see a lot of people try to disconnect from here and you end up breaking that plastic connector. No good. What you want to do is go right here to the PCV valve. That's kind of loose. They ain't supposed to be loose like that. And pull this hose off. Man, this thing is hard to pull off. Should have had some Wheaties this morning, man. Dang it. Alright, let's get it off. I try not to use the hose pliers on big things like this. But, there we go. Alright, pop that off. Take the whole assembly. Just lean it right to the side, just like that. Get it out of the way. Wrap it down, hook it down into the AC line. So now it's out of the way. We are looking good, guys. The next thing we'll do, get your screwdriver. I've seen a lot of guys try to pull this and twist it, but this is plastic and it's a good chance you might break it. So let's get your screwdriver, pop it up like that. So in that way, you do not damage anything. Lean that to the side. Let's get our hose out the way. And you don't have to get this out of the way, man. We don't need this. We don't need nothing in our way when you go take this stuff off. All right, lean it to the way out there. The next thing we're going to do is walking around. We got this big wiring harness right here. Dang it. All right, so what you want to do is, this harness is held on by a one bolt right here, a 10mm bolt, or what you can do is, look at that clip right there, squeeze down on it, push it out, and unclip it. I see a lot of people just take off the bolt, but you can do that way also. So what you do, just squeeze down on it, pop it out. Did I pop it out there? Just like that. Unhook. Take it, swing it to the side. That's one way to do it, or you can take out the bolt. Either way. Next, you got a clip right here that you're going to pop up, and you're going to have one further down going to the side of the engine. That one's not even there either. Huh. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That one's not even there. Matter of fact, isn't there supposed to be a cover on the top of this engine? There's supposed to be a cover up here. Huh. All right. Anyway. Oh, look at it. Somebody else had this one off, but this is one of them. But that's broken off. So let's lean that onto the side of the power steering reservoir. And then we're going to get this one. And let's get our hose pliers and try to pick that up. And they might break, guys. They might break. One came out there smooth. Let's get that, lean that over to the side. All right, now we got our big wiring harness and lean that over to the side. Now this is a good time. Let's see if we got something solid here where we can hook, get some mechanics wire and bring this to the side and keep this out of the way instead of hooking it onto a plastic canister. All right, be right back. Alright guys, we're back. Check this out. I got the wire tie, the mechanics wire held around the expansion tank, going around and hold our wiring harness to the side. Now, there's a little mistake I made here, which I should have did that. Now, when I took this clip off right here, we gotta take this cover off, so I forgot that. So we're gonna still have to take that off. And at the same time, these studs right here, we're gonna take them off to make it easier for us as well. And what I'm going to use is a 10mm deep socket 3/8 drive with a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension and my 3/8 drive ratchet. And what you're going to do is take off 1, 2, and 3. Let's get those 3 off, set them on the party line, and we'll be right back. All right, we are looking great. We looking A-okay. The next thing you're gonna do, guys, is this part is kind of important because a lot of videos I've seen out there, and I always check videos to see before we put up a video, and people be pulling off and the cover all breaks and all. They be like, yeah, it's okay. No, it's not okay. All right, there's a proper way of taking this cover off. What you gotta do is the front part. If you look down there, it has a little slot on it. So what you have to do is pick up, pull it out a little bit, pick up on the front part first. The whole thing like that. You gotta go back with it. And you gotta make sure over here Nothing hidden. You gotta get past that. This corner right here is always where people breaking it at. Get that back, get that up, get that back up slowly. See, that's why I took out those studs right there, so it can clear like that. And look at that. We got that off without even breaking it. Everything's intact. Customer's gonna be happy when it put back together instead of half. All right? All right, let's put that off. We are getting down to it now. We are down to the intake. The intake, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. You got one, and let me see, 13 millimeter, was it? 13 millimeter bolts. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down there is 6. We got this cover right here. I'm trying to get to it without getting that cut, without doing that cover. Yeah, see that? I can push that, pull that out, do it just a little bit right there. You got one right there, and that's all you do is pull this cover out just a little bit. All right, get everything out the way. What we're going to use is a 13 millimeter deep with our 3/8 drive ratchet, and our 3/8 drive ratchet also has a 6-inch extension on it. So let's keep that up there. We're going to use our extension, and what we're going to do is go down there and get to this bolt right here. And I'm doing this with one hand, so you can tell these bolts are not super tight. And we're going to have to torque those back down. So let's take this one out, and then we're going to loosen up these 6 with the same socket and ratchet, but the ones in the back, we're not going to have this extension on it. All right, so let's get those loosened up and get ready to take this intake out. Be right back. All right, guys, I didn't take these bolts out yet. I did take out the one down there, the short one, and put this to the side, because I want to do is show you what I'm doing here. 3/8 drive ratchet, 13 millimeter deep, and what I did was loosen up these two just like this, and I can now take those bolts out. I loosened up these 2 right here, but this one's just for Paul. Paul, I'm getting my cordless grass-fed drill. Yeah, with my little adapter up here to hook up sockets to. And Paul, here you go. I got my 13. That's an inside joke between me and Paul. You guys, you got Paul laughs every time I pull out my Duralast 13 millimeter socket. Paul, it works. All right, hook that up. Take the bolts out. All right, both bolts are the same length, and the 3 are the same length in the back. Let's get those other 3 out, and we can get this, see if we can get this intake out of here. All right, guys. How can I bring this camera up some? All right, we got our 3 bolts. All bolts are the same size. The next thing we're gonna do, it's gonna be kind of tight. There we go. Intake loosens up. Take our intake right off. Put our intake on the party line. We are getting down to the nitty gritty, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, check it out. Check it out. We are almost there. Now, guys, check this out. Some dealerships are gonna charge you minimum of $300 up to $500, and that's to do this job. So this is going to save you a heck of a lot of money. And just like I said, we're going to be replacing those 3. Even only one of them is bad, we're going to be replacing all 3 of them, so we don't have to go through this no more. All right, the next thing we're going to do, since we're keeping the front coils, we're going to take us a little marker, and we're going to mark them 1, 2, and 3. So we know those coils are good, and we know what cylinders they go to. The next thing we're going to do here is unplug each of the coils. Now, each of these coils have a different kind of plug. I mean, well, not different kind of plug, but it's different from other plugs on cars. And what you want to do is, let's get a good look right here. Better yet, you know what? Let me get a flat screwdriver and show you back here be better. Now, you see this coil right here? You see them little tabs? Right there and right there. This side is flat. So this thing slides out of here. So stick the screwdriver right between there like that and slide that coil out. And as you slide it out, see how it unplugs. That's it. Pull out till it stops. Bam. That's it. Let's do another one together. Let's do this one right here. Guide me how to do it. Stick the screwdriver over here. Ain't wrong. Nah, you know you guys got it. Take the screwdriver over here. Stick it right there, right in between that little, you see a little slot right there. Back it out, and as you're backing it out, the plug is going to start backing out, and you're just going to push it back till it stops. Once it stops, not a lot of pressure at all. Then just unplug it. All right, you got that? Now let's do the other 4. Do that and join me when you're done. Be right back. All right, guys, got all them plugged up. You are doing a fantastic job. You are on your way to saving you a bunch of money. This noise you hear on the side, that's me trying to stick on this 10mm deep socket 3/8 drive for the next part of this job. 10mm. Yes, yes, Paul. It is a Duralast. It's a funny guy, man. All right, check it. Let's get in there and do it. All right, let's take out our coils. Each coil is held in by a 10mm bolt. All right. So what you're going to do is take your 10mm. Loosen it up. And remove the bolt. Looks like the bolt's going to stay with the coil. That is all cool. I'm good with that. All right. Once we get it that, we're going to swing the coil, just twist the coil a little bit, and try to pop this coil out of here. And you're probably going to need 2 hands to do this. Or you can get a little, this is a metal plate, or you can get a little, matter of fact, let me see if I can, you know, guys, let me show you this one back here. Because of the angle of this, I can't put the camera on the stand. Let's loosen up this one right here. This one, dang it, come on. Yeah, you know, don't you hate that? It gets loose with the ratchet and you can't turn it no more, but yet when you go to turn with your hands, it won't come out. It won't turn. All right, there you go. Now, there's 2 ways I'm going to do this now. Now, 1, if you're going to reuse the coils, be very careful. 2, if you're not, like I am, what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get this situated. Get this hooked up wrong here. I'm going to take the screwdriver and I'm going to go right here, down here, and I'm going to go pick up on the coil just like that. Coil pops right up. Let's try this one. I'm using this metal brace right here, and a bigger screwdriver would probably work a little better, but this is okay. Go ahead, pop it right up. Just like that. That's cool. All right, now let's do the other 4, same way, and let's get all these coils out of here. All right, oh yeah, you know what, guys? Very important, very important. Let's get this out of the way because I have my ratchet up there, and this is a very important thing. I want you to get you some paper towels or some rags, and we're gonna stick them into the intake ports. So, just in case you don't get nothing dropped down there or nothing crawl down there. Wouldn't that be funny? Well, no, actually it wouldn't be funny. If a mouse would drop down in there, you had the car sitting overnight, the mouse would walk down in there, and you go ahead and put everything in bed, then you start it up, and you have a misfire for a few seconds, but then you see some red come out your tailpipe, or your cat clogged up. That ain't funny at all. I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. Let's get these other 4 out, and what we're gonna do is pull them out. There's our coils, and there's our party line going right here, and we're going to set them all right here on our party line. All right, let's get that done. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. We're ready to take out these plugs. Just like I said, we need to cover up these holes. And what you want to do is get you some nice rags. Now, guys, we know even if the rags look dirty and they can be still clean, we put them in there, you can definitely do that. But I'm going to let you know something about customers. Customers look at the vehicle, and they can see a little dirt around here and all, and they be like, man, that's dirty, man. Is there something I can do to clean that up? And if you got a nice dirty rag and you stick it in their engine like that, they be like, hey man, you gonna stick, isn't that isn't that stuff gonna get down into the engine and mess my engine up? You know, customers think like that. So you gotta think like a customer. And these rags are very cheap, and it's not like I'm gonna throw them away after I do this. They're good. You get them from Harbor Freight for like 50 of them for like $5, man, $5.99 or something like that. So I'm gonna take them. I got 6 clean rags, and what I'm gonna do is stick them into the intake. I said 6. What the heck I'm doing with 5 then? Dang it. Man, what the heck wrong with me sometimes. All right. Next you're gonna do is take you that same 6-inch 3/8 driver extension, and you're gonna get you a socket on the end of it. This is a 16 millimeter, or you can use a 5/8, or you can use a 5/8 spark plug socket. And what we're gonna do now is take out the spark plugs. In each of these ports, there is a spark plug. And then you got the 3 in the back. Got it hooked up. You want to go at an angle just like this, and that way you can get all 3. One, see that 6-inch comes right up there at the top, which is great. What you do is get your ratchet, and let me set this down because you want to make sure you put an even pressure on this thing. That's a tight plug. All right, we're going to do this one together. Now, I took my socket off of there, I'm bringing the ratchet off of there, and what I'm going to do here is by hand now, or if you're using an air tool or a cordless tool, you already had this done already. And you want to turn this out until, you know, a while. It's little, man. Until you know the spark plug is actually out of there. Now, to get that spark plug out, you can do 2 things. One, you can get you a magnet, but especially a lot of do-it-yourselfers don't got time to be going out getting a magnet. And what you want to do is, man, come on, this thing out yet? How long are these spark plugs anyway? I don't know. What the heck? I'm over here talking to myself. Anyway, let's see if that works. Take it out. What you want to do is grab you a 3/8 or 5/16 holes, about 6 inches or so. Reach in there, hook it up. You're just going to hook it up to the top of the spark plug. Yeah, top of the spark plug somewhere. And make sure that and I can use this to turn it out all the way if it ain't. What the heck, man? Am I on this thing or what? You know, it's better to probably just use a spark plug socket instead of doing all this. But hey, a lot of us ain't got that, so. Trying to see if I got this thing screwed out all the way. Oh, I got it there. Oh man, I thought I had it at that point. No, I thought I had it at that point. Hey, wait a minute. I think this 3/8 might be too big. You know what? Let's go get me a thinner socket, thinner hose, and make sure I got this thing. Heck yes. That's loose, man. Let me try this again. There we go. Look at that, guys. I got it, man. Dang it. What happened? It was leaning toward the back wall. But we snatched that thing out of there. We got it. All right. These are the original plugs. Yeah, burning kind of rich. All right. So we're going to put that up there. Next, we're going to do same angle. Go down here. Take out this one. Take out this one. And take out these. Now these right here, you can probably use a longer extension so you don't have to bend over the vehicle, and you can take them out from the top. Take them out would be better, easy to do that. All right, let's get these spark plugs out of here. And what I'm going to do here, let's set this camera up, and we're going to take out one more together. Got my socket down there, my extension. Here's my ratchet. Kind of tight. A good trick, guys, don't do this because you might be turning the spark plug back and forth, back and forth. That's why you take one hand and you hold the extension. You hear them clicks on that ratchet, you know you got it good. Holes down there, and now that I know I have to go to this back now, I've got good to that now. Now that I know it leans to the back, I can easily take them out. Now I got my little system. Let's get the rest of these spark plugs out and grab some new ones. Right back. All right, guys, here we go. Customer got all the parts. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you. Here's the customer got the spark plugs, and if you turn around, look on the side over there, they got the box. Boxes of all the stuff also. All right, let's come back around over here. Now, here's a problem, guys. When people get their own parts, when we diagnosed this car, we told the customer make sure this car calls for iridium plugs. You don't spell iridium like that. It's a platinums, which means these plugs are gonna go soon. This car burns pretty hot. I mean, you know, whatever. Anyway.
Actually, you said make sure it calls for iridium. We told them it calls for iridium.
Yeah,
make sure you get iridium.
Yeah, if it calls, there you go. Good thing you out here to straighten me up.
Yeah, it's about time somebody did.
Yeah. All right. So let's take out our plugs, and the next step we're gonna do is call the 007. Good friend of ours, mechanic 007. He lives in Canada. He saw me doing brakes, and I had to use some lithium, some grease or something. He said, and I would put my finger on it and all that, and had messed up my gloves. He said, Tim, instead of doing that, what you do is use you a Q-tip. So now, well, you don't mess things up. So I started calling that the 007. Now what you want to do is take a little bit of anti-seize, go on the threads, just the threads, and put a little bit around it. Because what happens is, over time, these spark plugs can seize this. They start corroding, and they'll seize up inside the cylinder heads. Inside those, because the cylinder heads are aluminum. So we go ahead and put, not a lot, guys, not a lot at all. Just put it around the threads like that. Again, do not get it on there, all right? Or you'll short that plug right out, it won't even fire. All right, so let's put all of them around here, and then we'll be right back.
You don't have to put it on all the threads?
Nope, because as you screw it in, it's good to put it right on toward, like, try to stay towards the end right here, but I'm trying not to go too close, because as you screw the spark plug in, it's going to work its way down on the rest of the threads.
Okay.
All right, now I can say be right back.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're doing our last plug. Look at that, done. I can still reuse my gloves. My gloves are still good. Take a Q-tip and put it in the box.
Can't you use the little brush that comes in the jar?
Nope, because I say so. Oh. No. There's a little brush come in some of these jars, and the problem is this brush is like really thick. See that? So to try to carefully put it there, I like the 007 better. The next thing we're going to do is start putting our spark plugs in. I'm going to show you 2 of them, and then you're going to do the rest. So we get 2 of them. Let's walk over here to the engine. Okay, let's set this down right there. And another thing, what I did, guys, remember that 3-way holes and all? See what I did? Just so my intake nothing will be in the way of our intake, I took a wire tie and moved that to the side like that. All right, now we're gonna take our hose that we use to take out the spark plugs. You do not want to. Now I see some guys do not let them do this to your car. They try to put it right here and let it slide down there. If that thing bends and close up that opening, that gap right there, the spark plug gap, if that thing bends and closes up, this cylinder will have a misfire. It will not fire at all. So you don't want to do that. What you do, easy, guys. Either you got the spark plug socket that got a boot in it, or you get the same 6-inch hose I got. Make sure it's kind of straight. Hook it on just a little bit. Lower it down into the cylinder. Put it on by about 3 or 4 threads, just so and it's got to go nice and easy that you can do that, and pull it out. All right, let's do one more. Hook it on just by a little bit. Let's try one in the back. Lower it down. Now see, I know the hose is kind of crooked, so I know the hose is not going to be straight. So don't think the hose is straight. It's going to be crooked to the side, and as you can see, I'm turning it, and it's twisting along with it. All right, that's good. Pop it right out. Now I know we're going to do the rest of them just like that, and then we're going to go to tighten them up. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the plugs down there. The next thing we're going to do is grab our 6-inch extension, 3/8 drive, my 3/8 drive 16mm socket or 5/8 socket if you prefer. So we're going to put the spark plug in there, put this tool in there, and by hand, as you can see, that's turning down nice and easy, no problem. Let's get our 3/8 drive ratchet. And let's tighten that up. And what you want to do here is I'm going to tighten this up. We'll keep on going until it comes to a stop. Okay, once it comes to a stop, you want to tighten up just a little bit more and stop. Remember, you can strip this out because it is going into aluminum. All right? Let's do one more in the front, and then we're going to tighten up all the other ones. All right, the one in the front, I'm going to set that down. Turn it more by hand. Make sure that it's not cross-string or anything. All right, then I'm going to go ahead in here. Tighten this up till it stops. All right, and then a little bit more to nice, make sure it's snugged up, nice and tight. All right, we are looking great. The next thing we're going to do here, I don't know, what think we're going to do here?
Tighten the rest.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to tighten up the rest of the spark plugs, and then we're going to come back. We're going to be setting in the old coils and the new coils. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, here we go. The customer got 3 new coils because I said if you're going to do the ones in the back, if one is bad, we'll do all 3. I don't recommend it. Value craft too much. If you can, get something a little bit better. Let's open up one of these boxes and see what we got here. Okay. Okay. I need those instructions. Right, put them in the box. All right, nice looking coil. So, what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna show you one in the back and one in the front, and then we're gonna set in the rest. All right, so over here on our old coils, now remember the ones that don't have no marks on them, you know that's garbage. The 3 right here, 1, 2, and 3, they go up in the front of the engine. So let's go with number 1 and get a coil, a new one that we're gonna go to the back. All right, so we walk over here. And what you do, now the plug to them is back there. So you want to make sure the plug to the coil is facing to the back. Let's do the middle cylinder. So we slowly lower that down in there, make sure the plug is out of the way. Make sure our bolt hole will line up. And you push down on the coil. Doesn't take a lot. Push it down. Turn the bolt. So you make sure that it's going down in there. Make sure your plug is out of the way. Now let's do a cylinder in the front. We got a number 1. The plug facing towards the connector. Bring it down. Push it down. Make sure the bolt going in there nice and easy without cross threading. Now, 10mm deep, 3/8 drive. Let's get our ratchet. 3/8 drive ratchet. Guys, these are not tight at all. Alright? What you want to do, I'm going to tighten one up for you. Tighten this one up. Same thing as the spark plugs. As soon as it stops, snug it up just a little bit more and done. Alright? Let's get this one in the back. And the ones in the back, they're kind of like difficult to reach, man. You can in the back there. Now, as I'm tightening it down, you want to do, once in a while, just take that new coil and push it down. The old ones, you ain't got to worry about that, but the new ones, just push it, just go once in a while, push it down a little bit. That's it. A little bit more. Snug. Now, let's put these connectors back. Let's do one in the back. Remember, make sure that connector part right there is open. Line it up. Push it forward. As you pushing it forward towards the coil, you're going to be pushing this side in. Done. Let's do one up here. Line the connector with the coil. As soon as it lines up, just put a slight pressure towards the coil, and at the same time, push that in. Locks into place. Done. Let's get the other 4 coils in, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are looking great. We got our coils in, got them locked down, everything is good. The next thing we're gonna do is remove all our rags, the 6 rags. Because next thing we're gonna be putting this intake back on. But first we do that, we gotta replace this gasket right here. There is a gasket right here. So you just wanna pop this gasket right off. There are little tabs, little pins coming out the bottom of the gasket. That's for alignment pins. All right, they line up into the engine itself, or the head, or whatever it is. I don't know. So, but before we do that, what's so funny? Before we do that, we gotta clean all this up. The dirty bugs, whatever that is.
Ew.
And you want to wipe this. You want to clean them and wipe it away from the ports. Try to don't. Now some dirt and all gonna fall down in there, but you want to wipe them away so you get it cleaned up. Now we got all the dirt out of there, but I'm not content with that because I still see a couple of little marks up here that can be cleaned up a little bit better. So we're gonna clean that up better too. And over here on the intake, what you're gonna do is turn your intake or turn them over, and look at that mess right there. I'm gonna do the same thing, wipe them off. All right, I'm gonna get something to clean this up a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. All right, got my little surface tool. If you use something like this, be very careful, guys. And matter of fact, I recommend using some very light sandpaper or a little wire brush. And what you want to do, I'm gonna go around. As you see, I'm going about this very lightly. All right, so what I'm gonna do is do this, and then I'm gonna show you a little bit on the engine. Be right back. All right, guys, we're gonna do the engine now. If you notice, I got one rag covering up one side, and I'm gonna do now. Using this tool, you just wanna, cause this tool can't grind into aluminum if you let it. So what you wanna do is just let it graze this top just enough so you can see it clean. And right now my compressor needs air, so this is great because I'm at a low speed. Great. We're gonna clean all this up. I'm gonna get some air and blow this out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got it nice and clean. Now I'm gonna get the air blower. Turn it off. Nice. Let's go over here to the intake. Clean that off. We are looking good. Let's take our new intake manifold gasket right here. Let's go over here. And we're going to set it down. Now, if you look at this, that way lines up perfectly. This way lines up perfectly. So you can put it either way. So now the intake is lined up. Make sure everything is out of the way. I mean, the gasket is lined up, everything is out of the way. Now let's get our plenum or upper intake. Now, check this out. You see these ports right here? 1 and 2. Those are going to be lined up with your alignment pins on the gasket. You see 2 big ones right there. So what you're going to do here is take your intake, bring it in there, make sure everything's weight, and slowly lower it down. Making sure everything is out of the way. Okay. Next, what you want to do is, while you're holding it carefully in place, grab one of your long bolts, bring them in, and this is how you're going to know if it's lined up. See, right now I know I'm not lined up. So I got to move this around a little bit until that bolt lines up. There it is right there. Okay, right now it's lined up. I'm great to go. Now I'm going to set all my other bolts in. All right, let's set those bolts in. We'll be right back. All right, guys, I got these 5 bolts in. I got one more bolt to get over here. Now here's a little trick to get to that bolt. Get your 13mm deep socket with a 4-inch extension. Get a little piece of paper or anything you can grab on the ground. Maybe a leaf, I don't care. Something thin. Take your bolt. Put your bolt in. You want to make sure you swinging it. You can shake it and don't come back out, and that way it does. So let's fold this paper up. Let's try now double. Good enough. So then I can just take the bolt, lower it down into place. Great, it's in there. Now, guys, this part is very important. That is a plastic gasket under there. You go ahead and tighten these bolts up too tight, you will break that gasket. All right, so these bolts are tightened into hold on, you know what, before we do that, what we're gonna do is take our socket and let's bring down our bolts, because we're gonna be using a torque wrench. And I want you to pay attention to how we're gonna be tightening down these bolts. All right, so let me bring these in by hand and I'll be right back. All right, get your torque wrench, guys. These bolts are tightened down to 17 Newton meters.
No.
Huh?
It's 23 Newton.
Oh, I'm sorry, dang it. 23 Newton meters, 17 foot-pounds. Well, good thing you caught that, man. They'd have had a fit breaking that gasket, because that's a plastic gasket down there and you don't want to take a chance in breaking it. And as you can see on my matter of fact, here, let me back it up. There's 15 right there. So right now I got the 0 and I'm at 15, 16, 17. I'm at 17 right now. So turn it, lock it into place, and what we're going to do, you're going to start from the center bolts and then work your way out. So let's start from up here. I'm going to go till it clicks. Great. Let's cross over to the middle bolt on this side. cross over to here. Now, I'm gonna cross down here to the small bolt. And I gotta get my extension on this one. Done. Now, last 2 bolts. All right, so I'm gonna torque this one more down. All right, and let's torque down the last one, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we got is our little cover right here, our shield. This is the front half. So remember how we took this out? You gotta carefully set this on top of the engine towards the back. Bring it towards the front. This is our PCV valve right here. Perfect, guys, look at that. Perfect. Next thing we're gonna do is now start from over here like we did before. Let's unhook this big wiring harness right here. That's gonna go to the side. Let's go get our bracket that go right here to bolt and hold this into place. All right, be right back. Okay, we got our bracket and then we got our 2 little stud bolts right here. You know where they go. All right, next thing we're gonna do is let's go over here and hook this up. Snap that ring back into place. And remember, I didn't have to take this off, which I shouldn't have. I should have just unbolted it. Got our 10 millimeter bolt back here. Start that in. Let's take our 2 studs. One right here. And one right here. Make sure we get that out of the way. Okay, we're gonna take our 10 millimeter deep, wherever it's at. What is it? Okay, we're gonna take our 10 millimeter deep with our 6-inch extension, and let's tighten up 1, 2, and 3. All right, let's tighten those up, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got that tightened up. The next thing we're gonna do, swing our wiring harnesses around here. This one got that little connector, goes push right inside it, a little pin. Perfect. We got another one that came around, and remember this one was broken when we got here, so that just, we know that just rests right there. The next thing we're gonna do, go over here, get us our snips, cut our wire tie out of the way. Let's bring our hoses now over here. First we got the big hose assembly. Let's get this one in first. This one right here. Let's push that in. Perfect. This one's got a little clip on it. Now remember, this clip went around this one of these studs right here. Snaps into place. Then we got the hose to the PCV valve right here. Push that on. Make sure everything's out of the way. Everything's good. Everything is good. Let's work our way back around here to our evap solenoid right here. Plug it in. Great. Got our hose. We don't have to push those clips in now. Just push it up. It snaps right into place. That's done. The next thing we do, very important, over here, just make sure you plug up and the connector part goes on the top. Remember this, we gotta make sure that tab, that gray tab, make sure that gray tab is pulled back first, then snap it into place, and then bring the tab forward to lock it into place. That is great. All right, guys. Now, what we're gonna do also now is we're gonna get us a rag and we're gonna open this. We're gonna reach in here and just wipe the oil out. We saw it inside there. We're gonna clean that stuff up, and then our last piece is right over here, and I'm not sure where the cover is to this car, but pretty sure the customer got it somewhere. Push that down there. Yeah, okay, that looks good. All right, we'll be right back. All right, we got our rag right here. What I'm gonna do is just clean up inside of here. I saw that oil. Then we saw some oil right here.
What's up with that?
And this car's got a... Dang it. Alright. This is the breather from the valve cover. And oil does build up in here. That's why I got a little channel right here. Which is a sucky system, man. I don't like these. The older cars just had the breather. Breathe out into the atmosphere. Kept it moving. The engine stayed clean. Alright, so let's get our pipe in here. And again, be very careful with this, because if you get cracking anything, this car's going to run like dirt. First thing we're going to do is try to hook it up to our mass airflow. Great. Then we're going to bring that, push that back and down. Then hook it onto the throttle body, just like that. Perfect. Now this hose right here, remember this, goes right down into here to the breather on the valve cover. I'm going to hook that on right now. Just like that. Now we got everything situated. Get our regular screwdriver, 5/16, 8mm. Tighten up both clamps.